Hey y'all. I hope y'all had a great weekend. Today is April 6th. Okay. And today we're gonna be talking about how to find the area of a rhombus and a kite. And if you already noticed, they have the same formulas. It uses the diagonals. So it's just 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. And it's the same formula for both rhombus and kites. Okay. So let's look at our first example. Okay, so the area of a rhombus, um, diagonal 1 is 10 millimeters and diagonal 2 is 30 millimeters. So all you have to do is plug it into the formula. So 1/2 D1, D2. Okay, D1 is 10, D2 is 30. Okay, so that comes out to be 1/2 of 300, which is 150. And since we're finding area, we square our units. So the first one's just 150 millimeters squared. Okay. Number 2, so this time it's a kite, but it's the same formula. So area is equal to 1/2 D1 D2. Okay, this time they give me the area, which is 36. And they give me my first diagonal, which is 8. And then my other diagonal is what I'm trying to find. Okay, well 1/2 times 8 is 4. So I have 4 times diagonal 2. Well, to get diagonal 2 by itself, I'm going to divide each side by 4. So I get D2 is equal to 9. And since it's just the length of a diagonal, I just use the regular unit, so centimeters. Okay, number 3. So find the area of the rhombus ABCD. AC is 14, and then BD is 10. So those are both my diagonals. So I'm going to do area is equal to 1/2 times 14 times 10. Okay, that's 140. So 1/2 of 140 is going to be 70. And its area, so it's centimeters squared. All right, so number 4, I want to find diagonal 1 of the kite, where area is 414. Okay, so this must mean it's diagonal 2. So I always start by writing my formula, and you don't have to. It's just how I start it. It makes life easier. So I have 414 is equal to 1/2. I don't know what D1 is, but I do know what D2 is. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/2 times 23, and I get 11.5 times diagonal 1, and then I'm going to divide each side by 11.5. So I get diagonal 1 to be 36. And then since that's just a diagonal, it's going to be in feet. Okay, number 5, so find diagonal 2 of the rhombus where area is equal to 90 meters squared. Okay, so this must be diagonal 1. My area is 90. My first diagonal is 15. And then times diagonal 2. Well, 1/2 of 15 is going to be 7.5 times D2. Divide each side by 7.5. Diagonal 2 is going to equal 12. All right, number 6. So find the area of the kite. Okay, so diagonal 1 is 12. Diagonal 2 is 5, so I just plug that in. So 1/2 times 12 times 5. Okay, well that's 1/2 of 60, which is 30 kilometers squared. Okay, on the last one I didn't put a unit, but it's supposed to be in meters. Okay, number 7. Okay, so I want to draw a rhombus. Okay, and this one's actually going to be for pre-AP only. So if you are in academic, go ahead and just skip to the next problem. Okay, so I want to draw a rhombus. Oops, as best I can. There we go. Okay, and it has 2 120-degree angles, so I'm going to call this one 120 up here. This one 120, this one 60, and then this one 60. Okay, the sides have a length of 6, so obviously in a rhombus all the sides are equal and they all have a length of 6. Okay, I want to know the area of the rhombus. Well, to do that, okay, my area formula for rhombus is 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. Well, I don't know my diagonal, so I'm going to go ahead and draw those in. Okay, and by drawing the diagonals in, it bisects my angles. So bisects means cut in half, so this angle is 60, and this angle is 30. Okay, well, another property that rhombus have is that the diagonals are perpendicular. So now I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay, so my rule for 30, 60, 90s is that across from the 30 is your short leg, across from the 60 is your long leg, and then across from your right angle is your hypotenuse. Okay, and the rule for that is that your long leg is your short leg times the square root of 3, and your hypotenuse is 2 times the short leg. Okay, so this is actually where I'm going to be starting. So 2 times the short leg is equal to 6. So my short leg is going to be equal to 3. And then my long leg is going to be equal to 3 square roots of 3. So that's just half of the diagonal. So one of the diagonals is going to equal 3 times 2, which is 6. And then my other diagonal is going to equal to, well, double 3 square roots of 3, and you get 6 square root 3. So then I can plug it into my area formula. So I get 1/2 times 6 times 6 square roots of 3. Okay, well, 1/2 of 6 is 3. So I have 3 times 6 square roots of 3. Okay, when you're in this boat, okay, you can just multiply those two numbers. So I get area is equal to 18 square root of 3. Okay, and there's no units on this, so we're okay to just leave it. Okay, and then the last one, this one's for everybody. So we're going to draw a rhombus with a perimeter of 38. So go ahead, draw your rhombus. Ooh, that is not a rhombus. There we go. Okay, so the perimeter is 68. What I know about a rhombus is that all the sides are equal. So to find the length of a side, I'm going to do 68 divided by 4, and that gets me 17. Okay, again, if I want to find area, I need to know my diagonals. So I'm going to draw those in. Okay, one of the diagonals is 30. So that means each side is 15. Okay, diagonals are perpendicular when they intersect. So this is at a right angle. Okay, and then I have to use Pythagorean theorem to find this missing half. So I'm going to do x squared plus 15 squared is equal to 17 squared. I get x squared plus 225 is equal to 289. Okay, I'm going to subtract the 225, so I get x squared is equal to 64. Take the square root, both sides, x is equal to 8. Okay, so that tells me that this guy right here is 8, which means that this guy right here is also 8. So one of my diagonals is 30. My other diagonal is 16. And then I just plug it in. So area is equal to 1/2 30 times 16. So 1/2 of 480, which is 240 centimeters squared. Okay, and that is it for area of rhombus and kites.